for the payment of the ransom and that she had paid 5,000 cedis through the said number in advance. Later, another payment of 8,000 cedis was made to another number registered in the name Barikisu Mohammed. Investigations immediately commenced following the receipt of the first complaint. A team of experts comprising officers from the Cybercrime Unit, Missing Persons Unit, Anti-Armed Robbery Unit, and the Police Intelligence Unit, with assistance from the National Signals Bureau, worked around the clock to get to the bottom of this case. A review of the videos on both victims revealed that the two videos were taken at the same location. The same amount of ransom was demanded, and the mobile money number provided for the payment of ransom was also the same. Police commenced a manhunt for persons in possession of some phone numbers which had featured in the investigation and registered in the names of Bukari Danladi, Amalbio Alfred, Alimatu Salifu, and Mama Mahaseni Mate. On 29 April 2025, the police arrested suspect Alfred Amalbio, who recounted that he was not directly involved in the crime, but mentioned one titles Imba Awuni, who had used his Ghana card details and that of his brother Akobia Sunday to register their SIM cards and sold them out to the Nigerians without their consent. On 1st May 2025, the Upper East Regional Police Intelligence Department arrested 4 suspects, namely Christian Emeka, 27, Basil Okonkwo, 29, both Nigerians, Titles Imba Awuni, 25, and Amalbio Alfred, 21, both Ghanaians, at Bolgatanga, and escorted them to the CID headquarters for further investigation. On 2nd May 2025, personnel from Headquarters Police Intelligence Department arrested suspect Mama Mahase Nimate, 33, at Teshi. 3 suspects, namely Peter Okoye, age 31, Polinos Chidokwe, age 35, and Chinonso Okafo, age 35, were arrested in Port Harcourt, Onitsha, Nigeria, and the victims rescued from them. At this time, steps are being taken to receive the victims from the Nigeria Police Force. After the interrogation of the suspects, it came to light that suspect Titus Imba Awuni, who is a mobile money agent in Bolgatanga. The suspect had links with one Abdul Mubarak Zakaria, an employee of one of the telecommunication companies, who has allegedly given him his official login credentials and also forwards a one-time PIN for 2-factor verification to him, which he uses to log into the SIM registration app of the telecom company to register subscriber SIM cards with other people's Ghana card details without their consent and sell same at 150 Ghana cedis each. Suspect Emeka Christian told police that in April 2025, he invited suspect Basil Okonkwo from Nigeria to Ghana to assist him to do business and gather money to perform his father's funeral. He added that one Peter Okoye called him and requested his mobile money number to receive some money. He forwarded his MTN number to him, and thereafter he was informed by suspect Peter that he had kidnapped some Ghanaian ladies who are with him in Nigeria. Hence, he will use his mobile money accounts to collect the ransom, which he obliged. Later, Peter Okoye called that he needed an additional mobile money number for the same purpose. He then went to Titus Imba Awuni again and bought another SIM registered in the name of Alfred Amalbio and forwarded same to Peter Okoye. He claimed in all he received 5,000 cedis, another 5,000 cedis, and another 3,200 Ghana cedis, totaling 13,200 Ghana cedis through MTN number 053-663-0088. Out of the amount, he took 900 Ghana cedis for himself, 150 Ghana cedis for transfer charges, and then he transferred the balance of 12,250 Ghana cedis to the said Peter Okoye through a phone number registered in the name Mama Mahase Nimate. The money was then converted to Naira and sent into a Nigerian bank account provided by suspect Peter Okoye, bearing the name Cecilia Williams. Upon the arrest of suspects Christian Emeka and Basil Okonkwo, both Nigerians, the Ghana Police Service was able to establish the identity and true address of suspect Peter Okoye, who had custody of the victims. These details were then shared with Interpol Nigeria, and they aided in the tracking and arrest of the 3 suspects, Peter Okoye, 31, Polinos Chidokwe, 35, Chinonso Okafo, 35, in Port Harcourt, Onitsha, in Nigeria. The 2 victims, Anastasia Bedu Atta and Evelyn Sewa Kunedu, were then rescued. Suspects Peter Okoye and Christian Emeka, both Nigerians, indicated to police that they were in Ghana in the year 2019 to work with QNet. They left Ghana for Nigeria in 2020, but Christian Emeka returned to Ghana in June 2024. Peter Okoye, Christian Emeka, and Basil Okonkwo are all Nigerians. They were into romance scam both in Ghana and in Nigeria. They operate through their Facebook and other social media handles. These suspects met the two victims, Anastasia Bedu Atta and Evelyn Sewa Konedu, through their Facebook accounts. Suspects posed as white men who wanted to marry the victims. The two unsuspecting victims became convinced, accepted the marriage proposal. The suspects then lured them to Nigeria, and the victims traveled separately but ended up at the same location on the same day on 22nd of April 2025. On reaching the location in Nigeria at Port Harcourt, Onitsha, Peter Okoye and his two accomplices kidnapped them. The three suspects stripped the two victims naked, tied them up, assaulted them with cutlasses, threatened to kill them with a knife, wrapped them in an orange bedsheet with their heads covered with black polythene, and threatened to hang them with a nylon rope. All these violent acts perpetrated against the victims were recorded on video, disseminated on social media, and also a copy was sent to the victims' families with a demand for ransom of 500,000 cedis from each of the victims' families. A total of 18,000 Ghana cedis was paid to various phone numbers from the families. As of today, both suspects and victims are with the Nigerian authorities, and efforts are being made to transport the victims to Ghana and also extradite the suspects to Ghana to assist investigations. At the moment, information received from our counterparts in Nigeria indicates that both victims are fine and they have received routine medical checks. Further updates will be communicated when the victims are received in Ghana and we are able to listen to them and hear their side of the story. At this juncture, on behalf of the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Christian Tete Yono, and the entire police administration, I wish to use this opportunity to commend all our officers who worked on this case. I would also like to thank the Nigeria Police Force and the National Signals Bureau of Ghana for their invaluable support. The success achieved in this case underscores the critical need for enhanced interagency cooperation as well as cross-border cooperation, because in all of this, we win when we work together. While we celebrate our success stories, it is also a good time to call on all of us to exercise extreme caution when we are online so as not to fall victim to fraudsters who take undue advantage of unsuspecting persons. Do not believe everything you see, hear, or read online. As always, be on the lookout for scammers and fraudsters who seek every opportunity to prey on your innocence, ignorance, or failure to do due diligence. And finally, we wish to advise that you report any suspicious activity to the police for appropriate action. I will move on to the second case of kidnapping, which was a pirate attack on MV Mehin 1 and abduction and subsequent rescue of 3 Chinese crew members. On 28 March 2025, at about 0900 hours, the Marine Police Command in Tema received a complaint from a fishing company in Tema that on 27 March 2025, at about 1930 hours, their fishing vessel MV Mehin 1 was attacked off Yenyano waters by 5 sea pirates on board a wooden boat, with 3 of them armed with AK-47 assault rifles amidst firing of gunshots. That the pirates, who used outboard motor-powered wooden canoes on taking their vessel and crew hostage, destroyed the communication systems and abducted 3 Chinese crew members. The complaint further indicated that the vessel had returned to berth at the Tema Fishing Harbour with 21 surviving crew. The Marine Police Unit of the Ghana Police Service, working together with our stakeholders, the Ghana Maritime Authority, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, National Investigation Bureau, and the Ghana Navy, as well as the Fisheries Observer, commenced investigation into the incident. On 26 April 2025, at 10:00 hours, police received information from a company representative that the Chinese embassy in Lagos called to inform her that the 3 kidnapped victims have been found in the Delta State of Nigeria and rescued to the Chinese embassy in Lagos. And on 27 April 2025 at 20:30 hours, following arrangements engineered by this office, the 3 kidnapped victims who were rescued and released in Nigeria were received by the police, led by myself, together with other officials from the Ghana Immigration Service at the Kotoka International Airport. There was no sign of physical harm found on any of them, but they all appeared traumatized and requested to be allowed to seek medical attention. On 28 April 2025, between 12:20 and 12:30 hours, the 3 kidnapped and released victims were debriefed at the police headquarters in Accra. The Inspector General of Police engaged the victims and also wished them well. The victims recounted that on the fateful day of 27 March 2025, the pirates kidnapped them in 2 speedboats, blindfolded them, covered them with tarpaulin during the daytime, and traveled with them by sea for about 24 hours to a marshy area, which they later found to be the Delta region of Nigeria. That the kidnappers, upon disembarking from the speedboats, brought motorcycles cycles to convey them for about 2 hours to a river bank, which they crossed with them on foot to a makeshift camp where they were kept and guarded at gunpoint until 25th April 2025, where they were abandoned for no apparent reason. According to the rescued victims, they roamed the area on foot and went to a village where they were assisted to make calls, which led to their eventual rescue to the Chinese embassy in Lagos. The police has been investigating this case as well, and so far, 4 people, the boatswain Clever, Victor Kojo Akoli, Eugene Chibuke Mwonam, Chinese cook Zhao Langhang, and second engineer Zhao Hua have been arrested in connection with the case and have been put before the Tema District Court while investigation continues. And just like the other case, at this time, we're also grateful to all our stakeholders who worked tirelessly on this case to ensure that the victims were rescued. I'll now move on to the murder of 5 people at Esiyao near Nsawam. On 29 April 2025, the Eastern South Regional Police Command commenced investigation into a shooting incident which resulted in the death of 5 people at Esiyao near Akwani Dobro in Nsawam. The police crime scene team, which responded to the incident, found the lifeless bodies of 5 male adults with gunshot wounds. No other persons were met at the scene. The team recovered the following items from the scene: 1 Toyota Tacoma vehicle, 1 Toyota Tundra vehicle, 1 pump action gun with 17 live cartridges, 4 empty cartridges, and 3 7.62 39mm empty shells, 1 9mm empty shell, and 5 heavy-duty motorbikes. Preliminary investigation suggested that there was a confrontation between 2 groups over sand winning at the location of the incident. The bodies of the deceased were deposited at the police hospital mortuary for preservation, identification, and autopsy while investigation continued to get the perpetrators arrested. Through sustained intelligence operations, we have so far arrested 5 suspects in connection with this case. The suspects are: 1, Samuel Achuforsin alias Alanyo. The second is Freeheart Kweku Sedonu. The third is Kwesi Prince. The fourth is Benjamin Ajaleko. The fifth is a gentleman known as 1 Million. 4 of the suspects were subsequently arraigned before the Osino District Court on 2nd May 2025, where suspects Samuel Achuforsin, Freeheart Kweku Sedonu, and Kwesi Prince were remanded into prison custody, while Benjamin Ajaleko was remanded into police custody. They are to reappear before the court on 8th May 2025. It will be recalled that on 30th April 2025, just a day coincidentally after the murder of the 5 people at Esiyao, the Western Central Regional Police Command arrested 3 people for unlawful possession of arms and ammunition at Boodie Wasa Ikropong in the Western region. And I must mention that this arrest was due to the diligence of the policemen who were on duty at that particular barrier. So we wish to commend them in particular for their vigilance and alertness, which led to the arrest of these people. Unknown to them, these people were people who were connected to this murder at Nsawam. They had allegedly or ostensibly been at the scene of that crime, and they were moving away, and unknown to the police officers on duty at that barrier, through their diligence of stop and search, when they searched these people on board the vehicle, 3 suspects, Hakim Imoro Tahiru, and Nuruddin Wahab, were arrested on board a Grand Bed bus, registration number AS443122, which was en route to Wasa Ikropong. So when their bags were searched and conducted on suspect Hakim Imoro, it led to the retrieval of a submachine gun and 21 rounds of ammunition. Upon interrogation, suspect Hakim Imoro disclosed that the firearm was given to him by his boss called Forsen, who was in Accra. An interesting twist to this case is that investigation has so far established that the suspect Samuel Achuforsin alias Alanyo, who was arrested in connection with the murder at Esiyao, is the boss in Accra who was mentioned by the suspects in Boodie Wasa Ikropong. Investigation has further disclosed that all the 3 suspects, Hakim Imoro Tahiru, and Nuruddin Wahab, arrested in connection with the Boodie Wasa Ikropong case, were also involved in the Esiyao murder case and were ostensibly absconding, but were arrested thanks to the vigilance of the Western Central Police. Investigation is ongoing and will provide updates as and when available. Once again, I would like to commend all the officers who worked tirelessly to connect the dots and made this arrest possible. I'd like to especially commend once again the officers of Bodia Wasa Ikropong for their vigilance and diligence, which led to this arrest, which is a huge breakthrough in the murder at Isiya. I'd like to take this opportunity to assure the good people of Ghana that the Ghana Police Service remains committed to ensuring that perpetrators of crime are pursued, arrested, and brought to justice. And a word of caution or warning to people who don't intend to obey laws and do the right thing. Wherever you are, whatever you do, wherever you commit a crime, once the Ghana Police Service is informed of that crime, will definitely hunt you down and get you arrested. So we advise that you should engage in doing lawful things and desist from committing crimes. At this time, I'd like to thank you for your attention, and then I'll take questions. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, if there are any questions, we will take them now. So I'll take all the questions at a go, then Madam can respond to them. Any questions? Whilst we wait for the questions to come, we'll do some more acknowledgements.
Thank you, Director Pat. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you the Director of Homicide, and he is ACP Mr. William Sedwame. He is the Director Homicide. We also have with us Director Cyber Crime Unit, Superintendent Emmanuel Nana Jebi, who is a Pejahin of Efiduase. Nana, you are welcome. Then I want to introduce to you our man in charge of finance here at the CID headquarters, and he is Chief Superintendent of Police, Mr. Nicholas Osei. Sir, you are welcome. Thank you. Director.
Hi. Can I go ahead? All right. My name is William Into. I report for Peace FM. Madam CID, you alluded to the fact that the victims are seeking some medical treatment at Nigeria. And that's what to find out. If you are providing them with any psychological need at this time, considering how they are traumatized through the kidnapping process.